Hey guys, we'll have to see how this goes. I just looked quick and he might actually be in some part of his shed cycle. I'm going to check right now and see if he is in shed. Unfortunately, this will be a really short video, but even if he's in clear stage or something, we'll take a look. He looks kind of grumpy, so my guess is he may be in shed. All right, come here. Hey. You don't have to musk me a million times. Yeah, his belly is pretty dull, so I think he's pretty likely in shed here. Yeah, he is. Well, that kind of stinks. No, buddy, that's going to be a new place. Check it out. Come on. It's musking the shit out of me. All right, dude, relax. I know that you are comfortable with me, so you're coming back to me, but I want you to go check this place out. Maybe you'll like it. See? Check it out. Oh, I stink. I stink really bad. It stinks he's in shed. He did just eat like 10 days ago, and I feed him pretty sparingly, so it's not all that surprising that he went into shed, I suppose. And it would have been really smart of me to check before making this video, but I just got the cage set up, and I wanted to check him out in there. And being in shed, I don't think he's going to explore much. Looks like he's going to go right behind the hide there, and that might be that. That's really disappointing. And of course, with the hide there, it's hard to see with the lighting. Oh, you can't see at all. But he is right there in front of my finger, behind the hide box. This really stinks. I was really looking forward to having this guy be here so you could check him out. This is the worst live video of all time. Damn. Anyhow, while I'm on here for a second, this is the cage. The first thing that I've learned in regards to the bamboo in the cage below, which is for the spotted python, and it's like common sense if you really think about it, but I didn't, because the bamboo is fairly fresh cut and not completely dried out. I think it shrunk a little bit, so it's not sitting as tight, so I cut it perfect. But as it's drying, I think it's going to shrink, so these may be temporary pieces, and I might have to go and cut new pieces for these cages, let them dry for a while, and then, cut them to the appropriate length once they're dry. So that's the learning curve of doing things on the fly and trying to figure it out and not being all that smart to begin with. God, I can't tell you how bad I smell right now with the musk. Cat, get away from that. That's his regular hide in this cage. Yeah, it's really disappointing that he's in shed. So I'm probably just going to put him back into his regular enclosure here, so he can shed in peace. And then once he sheds, we'll do a video where he can actually scope this cage out and explore a little bit. Because I'm really curious to see, given he's not as confident of an animal as the spotted python is. I'm curious if he will, go around and explore this cage, or if he's just going to find a spot to hide, and that's going to be that. So right now you can see that's pretty much what he's done, is found a spot to hide, and, but that's mainly, I think, because he's in shed. He may do that when he goes into the cage, and it might be one of those things where overnight, when he first goes in there for the first night, he might come out at like 2 o'clock in the morning and scope it out. But yeah, definitely really stinks, because I was kind of excited to see what he did. I don't want to scare him too much there. Get him into the light so you can see him a little bit better. Given that he's in shed, I'll probably use the hook to first grab him in there. We'll see how he is. He might be all right. My hands have been on him a little bit today already, so he might be okay. Yeah, he's not bad. He's not mean, but he does get nervous. He's a white-lipped python, so. It's checking out the heat, which is not on. It was on earlier, but no, it's completely cold now. And unhooked the thermostat that it was because it had a VE thermostat on it before. It's going to be going to a Herpstat now. It's just chilling. It's funny, he doesn't look as black as the cage right now because he's in shed. Normally, I think he would rival it pretty well. What are you doing, dope? Yeah, he looks like crap. Can you come out? What are you doing? It's just me. He's like, what is going on? Yeah, so I'll cut this short in a second and put him back, like I said. He's looking around a little, but he's definitely going to want to have his peaceful shed cycle, so I'm going to let him do that. I don't know if he's going into clear stage or coming out of it, so that'll vary on how long before he'll be ready. I don't see any comments, do I? I'm still... How do you go from once a week feeding to bi-monthly? Well, it depends on the species of snake. There's not a lot of things that I keep where I would be feeding. When you say bi-monthly, to me that means every other month. Are you meaning like twice monthly? Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, like every 2 weeks kind of thing. Because if you're moving from every week to 2 weeks, as long as the snake is a species that makes sense for, I mean, you just do it. There's nothing you have to tweak or anything you have to change, really. Like anything else, I'm a firm believer that you don't feed to the calendar, you feed to the animal. So he's growing. So I feed him a little bit more, not volume-wise, but a little bit more often than I feed my female who's full grown. Same species, similar ultimate adult metabolism, but his metabolism's still a little bit faster right now because he's still growing. And of course, snakes grow throughout their entire life, so they're always still growing. The rate just slows way down. You know, a snake that might put on a foot a year in the beginning slows down to where maybe they're putting on an inch every 2, you know? I mean, it becomes very slow, but they do grow from the day they hatch to the day they die. Snakes don't ever stop. So... but his metabolism's a little bit speedier, so he'll eat more often. But I still don't feed him to the calendar. I feed to his body. Is he growing? Is he shedding and growing at the rate that I want? Does his body tone look good? Which right now is kind of deceptive because he doesn't look great because he's in shed. But when he comes out of the other side of the shed, we'll have him on again, and you can see how dull his belly is right now. Usually that would be bright white. It would really pop. Where you going, dude? Come here. Come on. He's like, yeah, I don't think so, guy. I do think he's going to enjoy the cage. I just don't know how long it's going to take him to settle into it. Because it will be different for him, especially be different to him when I come in the room and I'm looking and I can see him. I can't see him in the tub. It's a see-through tub, but it's a 41 quart that he's in now. So it's much... narrower in the front and longer going in the back, and given that it's in a enclosed rack, it's not that easy to see in there. He is checking it out though. Coming over here, we'll swing the doors. I'm actually surprised he's exploring this much given he's in shed. He doesn't seem super nervous. He's definitely nervous. You can see like he just stopped. He's not tongue flicking right now. He's thinking. He's deciding how nervous he should be. You can see he's breathing kind of heavily right there. He's not really scared, but he's processing. You know, these are intelligent animals, and he does know me, my voice, and how that vibration feels. Like he knows that it's me that's here, but because he can't see as well right now, he's kind of second-guessing some of his other senses. He's trying to use them more to figure out what's going on. Because usually these guys have pretty reasonable eyesight, so usually he would recognize me, you know, looking at me that way, the smell, all the things that are going on. And he's definitely not afraid of me, especially if I handle him frequently. When I don't handle him for a while is when he gets a little iffy, but if I'm handling him fairly regularly, he's pretty good. But he is a white lip, so at any moment, you know, he could decide to not be good. Come on. Come on. Are you sneaking around that way? I see you. He's coming around the mountain. Did you already go to the bathroom in this cage? You son of a bitch. It's not even ready for you to move in here yet, and you already went to the bathroom in it. Well, I guess that means it's officially his. It's been christened. Got a nice little turd over there. Urates too. So I guess it's official. This is his cage now. Nobody else can lay claim to it. He has marked his territory. So cool. I wish that I had more time in my life where I could just hang out with these guys all the time, because I really enjoy spending time with them. I want to see if he'll climb. He's actually a fairly good climber. I've had him outside enough, and he's actually used to being on the bamboo outside for pictures and things, so I don't think the bamboo at all is all that new to him. So I think that's kind of why he's not exploring it all that much, because it's something he is familiar with. Whereas the cage, the bedding, that kind of stuff is new. So I think that's why you see him paying a lot more attention to the bedding than he is to the bamboo, because he's been on bamboo plenty of times. And like I said, these guys are pretty smart. They remember stuff like that. Are you ready to come out so I can put you back? Like I said, I know you're in shed, so I don't want to aggravate you too much. At least it's nice. He had one bad shed when I first moved him into the 41, because he was in the 32 a while back. And actually had two bad sheds. White lips are like super, super sensitive to humidity and things like that. And even though I have other Australian stuff in there, and please don't worry, I'm not actually using that humidity gauge. It's just always been in the cage. It's completely useless if you're using those gauges. They're really not accurate. I don't know what it says the humidity is in there. Does it even say? Of course, I can't see. Hang on. Well, it actually might be working fairly well right now, because it says it's like 85%. And I bet you it's pretty high. One, because this is still putting off a lot of humidity since I just took it out. It's been in a sealed container, wet. So it's not crazy wet, but it's wet enough where it's putting off humidity. And it's summertime, it's humid. I turned off the AC to do the video, so that's not taking any humidity out of the air. But still, those gauges are totally junk. So don't rely on them. All right, well, what do we got? Is it Cocoa Blocks? It's Reptichip, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Reptichip. I don't know. The new bags are out in my car, but I'm 99% sure that's what it is. JT's company there or whatever. I think that's Reptichip. But yeah, it's new substrate to him. He's always been on paper as long as I've had him. But he's not, he's a reactive animal to things, but I don't think substrate's going to throw him off, and I don't think any of that's going to throw him off. I think the only thing that's going to be iffy is being in glass as opposed to being in the tub. So that's the only thing I have a question. And right now he's in shed, so I'm not getting a really good read on what he's doing. And right now, honestly, it's not much different than when I take him outside. He's in a different environment then. It's going to be a question of when I leave him alone for 4 or 5 days and then I come in here, how is he going to be? That'll be the real test of how comfortable he is in this cage. Or am I sitting here watching TV and all of a sudden he's striking the glass because he sees me moving? And then we'll deal with stuff from there. If it gets to where he's not settling into this, obviously he can always go back into a tub. I'll just get him a bigger tub. We'll work it out until he's comfortable in a cage. My female 2 years later still strikes the glass when I come in the room all the time. So that's why she's not out here in the living room. So if I have to, I'll eventually either move him out of this room into a lower traffic area, or I'll get glass tints and tint the glass and see if that'll help a little bit too. Just enough to get him to be less reactive. So we'll see what happens, but we're coming up on 15 minutes, so I think that's good considering Like I said, he's in shed, and now he's already christened the cage. So we got that out of the way. See if he gets mad when I move this because it's touching him. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to YouTube. Don't be mad at me because you look like crap. You look like crap because you're in shed. Okay? Let's see real quick. I don't know how he's going to be. Oh. Where are you going? Come here. I don't need this now. I got you. That's White Lips, though. You just never know. All of a sudden, he was like, nope, we're not doing that. But I don't even need the hook. Like I said, he's not mean. He's not out to get anybody. Here, look. Oh, look, you can go into your regular hide here. Come here, bud. Oh, it's the one thing about short tails that makes life so much easier with them. It's easy to get them to go where you want them to because they just want to go. He's musking me again. Back in his cage. Clean that turd out and replace that bedding over there. Little fucker's got a shit in here first thing. Go figure. Just want to say thank you to all you guys who've been checking these out. Like I said, they will get more exciting at some point. Next month I'm going to be traveling, and I will be in South Carolina. And I should be able to get some really good content while I'm there. And also, you know, weather permitting and all of that, I'll probably go out and we'll look for some cottonmouths down there alive or something. My buddy Josh has quite a few on his property typically. And the last time I was down there, I went down there in December and I didn't see any, and it was very depressing. But this time around, I'll be there in September. So they still should be out and about. It should be warm enough. I'll be complaining about the heat, and they won't be. So thank you guys again. We'll see you. Don't forget to give me ideas if anybody actually watches this far into these things. Let's do some fun stuff, you know. Shoot me some thoughts. Let me check it here and make sure I answered everybody's question. Vocal box. All right, so I think I answered everybody's question that I saw or that I can see. So you guys have a good night. I'm going to go have dinner.